Do you like really big monsters?
Yes!
Do you like really big green monsters?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Well, this deck is for you. This is Trostani 3 Whispers, a deck that was inspired by a draft deck that I just opened it in a couple days ago, and we're going to go through and play some good old-fashioned magic, granting keywords to our creatures and smashing our opponents on the unawares. And this is my deck I call Damning Whispers. Now, I call it that because of Trostani 3 Whispers. If you don't know what she does, it's a 4/4 Dryad with a 3 mana cost, a green, a hybrid green-white, and a white. It's a 4/4 that gives Death Touch to a target for 2 mana. It grants a target Vigilance for hybrid mana, or 2 and a white. The important part here, granting double strike until end of turn. Now, the way that a lot of this works, which is nice, is since you're granting double strike, you're granting the first hit is going to be first strike. So if you have 5 mana, you give something double strike and Death Touch, it's going to hit them and it's going to kill their stuff if they try to block, like gang block and mess with your stuff. Now, the real big linchpin here, though, is trample damage, because if something has Death Touch and it also has trample, it only has to deal 1 damage in order to kill your opponent's thing and then carry the remaining damage over into their face. And it gets even worse if you're able to give them the double strike as well, because then it turns all your trampling creatures into having their own Embercleave, basically, that smashes with a Death Touch hit and then keeps on carrying through, and then it'll hit again on the double strike damage. So with that in mind, we have a bunch of big, green, dumb stuff. As I said, do you like big, green, dumb creatures? Well, this deck has a lot of those in spades. So we have things over here, and this is another one of those things that I opened in a draft, and I was like, well, I'm going to put this in this deck. Like Worldspine Worm, it's a 15/15 trampler. I mean, you can't really get much bigger than this creature in the game. And then you also have things like Ghalta and Mavrin, which creates other big, dumb trampling dinosaurs if you use that mode, which is usually what I use when I get it down. Tyrannax Rex, 8/8 trample with ward and haste. A good card. Rampaging Bronzodon. This thing will mess people up. It's a 7/7 trample on its own. And if you're spending, 5 to 6 land mana to cast it when you drop it down, it's automatically going to be up 12/12 when it swings. If you give it double strike, it's going to turn into 24 damage that tramples. And if you can give it Death Touch on top of that, your opponent's going to have a bad day. So yeah, a bunch of big dumb tramply stuff in here. And then the one card I really want to point out in the deck is this. It's Odric Lunarch Marshal for 4 mana, 3/3 human soldier. At the beginning of each combat, your opponents as well, creatures you control gain first strike until end of turn if you control a creature with first strike, and the same happens with all these other keywords: Death Strike, Flying, or Death Touch, Flying, Double Strike, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Rage, Skulk, Trample, and Vigilance. That's a mouthful. The big thing here, and the idea behind this, is Trostani grants 3 different keyword abilities. You also have other creatures with other keyword abilities. So if you can get something down with trample or have a way to grant trample, like the Shadow Spear that's over on the far left here, you're going to be able to go ahead and give all your creatures these abilities. Now, you got to do it in the first main phase with Trostani's ability to grant the Vigilance, grant the Death Touch, grant the Double Strike, all that stuff. We also have a copy of Ronus the Indomitable in here, which can grant trample too. So if you have him down, you grant the trample during the first main phase, and then the double strike or Death Touch bits off of Trostani, and then you're able to go to combat. Odric will then give all of your creatures all the abilities that have been granted via Trostani or via Ronus the Indomitable or whatever else you have on the board to make some really nasty attackers. So, you have something with trample down along with Trostani granting Death Touch and Double Strike. All your creatures then have Death Touch, Double Strike, Trample. And that is a big problem for your opponent. Apparently, it's also a big problem for the server because it just glitched out on me as I was explaining things. So the idea here is you grant all your stuff those things and you swing with some big creatures. And it might be mean to say this, most opponents do not understand how Trample and Death Touch work because it's not a common combination of keyword abilities. They'd have never printed a card with both keyword abilities on it because it is an overpowered mess. So if they are like, oh, I'll just put a bunch of blockers here, you're just like, yeah, I'm going to Death Touch all these guys with the first strike damage off the double strike. They'll die, and then the rest of the damage carries through, and then I'm going to hit you again with the double strike damage on the backside. Or they might be like, oh, I'll just put this big creature in front of it, your first strike damage is going to go 1 to that, lethal with death touch, and then the rest is going to carry over into their face. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. I had a lot of fun putting it together, and we will talk more about it after the gameplay. Yeah, Davriel, which could be a major pain for us. Let's see what we got. Yeah, sure, why not? Buried in the Garden can handle Davriel. Wow, I just experienced a little lag spike there. So that's a U control, so it's not going to cause me any kind of errors. Let's see. Creature or Planeswalker. Can't use that to get rid of that. Let's go ahead and drop Trostani. Because even if Trostani dies, like, I can use that to remove the perpetual effects from the Davriel. Alright, let's go with Mana Confluence. And I think I'm going to use Buried in the Garden to get rid of the Iron Crag. I'm not really concerned about the card draw as much as I am the mana. Okay, so she's going back to the zone. Right, let's just drop Wake. We're going to get all of our mana built up and get this going. There's Davriel, which I'm okay with. Because I can use Ossification to get rid of him. Okay, so they got black spells, cost less. So they can't -3 to screw with that. Let's get Trostani back down. We'll use that as a protection spell. Let's do that. And then had gift available. Let's do this. Let's do Hornbash Mentor. I'm gonna put a counter on Trostani. That's one of the reasons I have it in here. We'll pass the turn. I'll have Gaia's gift available to protect against Davriel or any other stupid thing trying to mess with her.
Clearly, I need better clients. Better to deal with me than with demons.
They didn't plus it, so we don't have to sacrifice an attacking creature. You control get my zero. They're looking at my Trostani, and I'm just like, nope. I'm noping that thing out. Okay, so you got my Hornbash Mentor. Congratulations. Oh, they were going for that. Okay. All right, that's fair. All right, let's do... Let's see, I got 3 cards left in there. Let's just drop... Actually, let's do the Carrion Beastcaller first. Then we'll drop this guy. So at least it gets a counter. And I do have an option, but then I don't want to do that. I don't want to let them tutor for things. That's just a bad idea. Plus, I'd rather use the Ossification to discard because I'd rather have this in hand with the Wake on the board because then we're able to double up everything and it's just kind of hilarious. Especially with that Rampaging Bronodon.
Details, then tea.
So what are they getting? Trying to see like all the stuff they have. Flux. They have so many dumb little things going on here. All right, let's drop Command Tower. God, it's such a bad idea to screw with that Bronodon so heavily, because if it gets blown out, I just get screwed by this. But at the same time, it'd be really freaking funny. Let's try Trostani just to see what kind of removal might be floating about. Well, I got something because the game's locked up. Alright, screw it. Let's send the Bronodon at their face. Oh, I should have did the double strike. They didn't do it. I was so crapping scared of dumping the mana in there and losing it. So they must not have a removal that can handle an 8/8 right now. Oh, they're screwed. They have to do it. Wow. Black Market Connection's going to kill him. Between Davriel and that finally took him out. Oh, man, I wish I would have double struck him, but oh well. Yarok. Oh, boy. Okay. All right, we got Wake. We got Dromoka's Command, which is pretty good. Shauna's D's. So let's go with this. I've had so many difficulties recording this video today because unfortunately I've had technical issues. I recorded for like an hour and a half and then realized I had a glitch in my system, which was recording the wrong channels. So like the audio was messed up and yeah. So wasn't happy about that fact, but it's all right. We're going to make the best of it, and we're going to get through this and have some fun with this deck. Because so far, I'm having a ton of fun with Trostani. I'm going to put this up just so I have access to Get Lost. Let's go ahead and play Shauna. Why not? Because they can't use ETBs to kill it. Because that deck is really heavy on ETB triggers. Well, that's considered an ability, and it doesn't work on her. So... oh, good, we got that. So, yeah, I'm not swinging because I sense either like a flash creature or something, because sometimes you run some flash creatures in the Yarok deck just to get instant speed double triggers on things. So, I'm just gonna sit back on this one. That's one of the reasons why I didn't just trot Trostani out there. It's like, yeah, that sounds like a bad idea. All right, they're just gonna flat cultivate. Let's go play fetch. We're gonna go get plains because our white sources are kind of limited at the moment. And I'm gonna drop Shadow Spear to see if they have anything. Okay, nothing there. Let's get Saisei Shauna up a little bit bigger. End the turn. We need some creatures besides Trostani, though. But we need some of our little guys. Go a little wider here. All right. Well, that'll be a good target for Get Lost. Plaza can come down. We'll just tempo them down to the point where they have to keep trying to waste their time and mana trying to get this up and running. Because Yarok don't do jack if you can't keep it around. We'll go ahead and drop Trostani now. I could have done it pre-combat, but I'm going to see if they're going to spend their time replaying that. Oh, no, they're going to do that first. Okay. I got you. All right. So, what do we do with that? Play Beast Color. I don't have a creature to follow it up. Play Wake, but then Dromoka's Command isn't. How does this Wake? That that land produce? It's got to be the same mana that it produces. So let's go ahead and just play the Beast Caller, and I'm going to sit on Dromoka's Command, because this will allow Shauna to get a little bit bigger. We're just going to swing for 4, or 8, excuse me. I'm not going to screw around. target player selects an enchantment, put a +1/+1 creature. Alright, so we're going to do this. We're going to Dramoka's command, response. We're going to do a counter and sack. We're going to put you, and we're going to do you. So they're going to lose their enchantment. Unfortunately, that means Shauna gets to fall to the ground. We'll go ahead and put the shadow, or wait, never mind. That was dumb of me. I was in the middle of combat. Yeah. I was thinking combat was over. That was my mistake. Because then I would have re-equipped the Shadow Spear to Trostani or the 4/4. Alright, Yarok's back. I don't care about my Yarok. I do Storm, I can't do that. If I do that, I can't do the two things. And that's fine. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to swing like this. We're going to make them have to block something. Alright, so Trostani's going to go Death Touch on the Beast Caller. And then she's also going to give it Double Strike. So, my Beast Caller kills your guy, then you take 9. This is why I like Trostani. I opened it up in a draft last night, and it is freaking hilarious how badly it does stuff. Like, you wouldn't think. It's mostly a draft bomb, and it's a good commander, but it's like, you wouldn't think a card like this would be that good, because it's expensive to run. I mean, you have to have at least 5 mana, just like I just had, in order to activate it and give Death Touch, Double Strike to something. But if your stuff tramples, it does some really dumb stuff. And I'm hoping to catch that on film, because I had a bunch of that kind of stuff going on earlier, and I couldn't do it because everything kept glitching out. Alright, so they took that out, and that's fine. Storm the Seed Core makes my stuff trample next turn, and then they're probably going to be run over anyhow. Yeah, we're just going to do this. And then if I give something Death Touch, they're just going to be completely screwed. So let's go here. Submit these two. I'll go 2. Yeah, let's go 2 and 2. Because I can do that. If this resolves, they're dead. Unless they have a fog effect of some sort. Come on. Oh, they actually had a counter spell. Okay. Alright. Let's see. 4, 5, 6 does not work. Can't do Double Strike at this point, so we're just gonna sit back and wait. I have Heroic Intervention if they have anything really nasty, particularly nasty. Alright, so they're going to use that, copy the slime. They're going to try to blow up something. Yeah, I'm going to cast this because if I don't, I'm going to lose the mana and the ability to cast it anyways. So now it's going to force them to either have another counter spell or another removal spell of some sort to leverage against that. Okay, that's fine. But I had to do that because otherwise they would pass phases and make me lose the mana and all the dumb things that can happen with mana floating and that kind of stuff. Alright, so they have a card on top. And a pair of death-touching acidic slimes that I'm unable to get through without Trostani. If I play this, that would give me 4 mana remaining. If I play Trostani, yeah, I still don't have the ability to grant trample to yet. I think right now it's just play the Wake and play the bonus. And then pass a turn and just kind of sit back on this for the moment. Everything is big enough. They can't swing into the Ronus. Ronus can, deal with their crap. But now I have the ability to grant trample with Ronus and double strike with Trostani. Does he give himself another target creature? And he has Death Touch and Destructible. Okay. So I can't do it the other direction. But that's okay. So I got 5 mana, grant Trample, grant Death Touch. I think I can kill them this way. Let's see what happens. Because I can grant Death Touch to one of the 2 creatures this way. And then I can use Ronus's ability to give it Trample as well. So then it turns into a 7/5, and then that's going to carry through. There we go. So yeah, that's what the interaction with Death Touch and Trample is the lethal damage. You only have to do 1 damage if it has Death Touch with Trample, because then the rest of the damage carries past, because you've already dealt lethal damage, technically. So then you can go ahead and smash on through. Prince Imrahil the Fair. Oh, one of the Lord of the Rings commanders. We'll try this. I think he's the 2nd draw to create a soldier guy. Yeah, it is. We're going to go Flooded Strand on 1. We're going to activate. We're going to go get... We're going to go get... Yeah, let's go get the Lush Portico. Let's see what we got on top. Galta and Mavrin. Well, that can be buried. I can get it back later. So I don't know what's more aggravating. Losing to Mana Flood or Mana Screw. Because I've had it happen twice now in back-to-back games. One game I was flooded, one game I was screwed. I think the Mana Screw is more infuriating because you're just like, okay, I have 40 lands in this deck. Why can't I draw a freaking land? Whereas like right now, I'm actually drawing like good stuff. Oh, this is probably just asking for Trostani to get slapped down, but you know what? I'm going to play Ronus first. Because in theory, I could then play Trostani and then swing with Ronus because of getting another creature that's big enough for this thing to work with. But it's also lending itself to just getting exiled with like a Banishing Light. Okay. Let's do Sun Petal Grove. So do I do that? Yeah, we do that. Let's just get your style down. So we're gonna go crashing on through. And I could have gave Ronus Vigilance. I should have probably given it Vigilance just to have as a death touching indestructible blocker. So that was a mistake.
I'm brilliant, so do try to join my cause.
Okay, so what can we do next turn? We can do Odric with the Vigilance trigger. Then I really don't want to swing any of this stuff other than maybe Ronus into them because of that. And they'll just chump block because I don't have trample on anything. They're looking to see if I could give it Death Touch. No, it takes 2 mana. Alright, so being each combat. So it's both their combat and my combat, because then that would then give all my stuff. That's an interesting way about it. Because then it would give all my stuff Death Touch and Indestructible. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna start whittling their forces down. Now the thing with Odric that you have to remember is you have to do the activations on Trostani before combat. You can't actually let them sit and then do it, because if you swing first, they're not going to get it because it's a beginning of combat trigger. So first main phase, you start giving them Trostani's abilities. But that's the reason why I'm running Odric, is to have the ability to give Vigilance and Death Touch and Trample and all, or Double Strike and all that stuff, and then all my stuff gets it during combat by spreading. And I would also recommend spreading it out between multiple creatures. So if your opponent decides to blow up the creature that you're dumping stuff onto, you're not getting screwed later. Or put it on an indestructible creature like Ronus here. So yeah, go ahead and swing. I got Death Touch. Oh, this is freaking hilarious. All right. So I can grant... He's got Death Touch, Indestructible. He can grant Trample. I can grant Double Strike. Oh, goodness. Like, that's the... God, it's such the hard part about this. Just trying to figure out what you want to do here. That gives haste. There's nothing in my yard I want to regrowth right now. Do that. I think we're just gonna do this. We're gonna give Odric Double Strike, and then we're gonna play the Vigil. Or no, we're not, because I want to be able to protect this from. All right, so now they all have indestructible, whatever. Unfortunately, I can't give them trample. I just have to eat my way through their defensive lines. And then end the turn. So we'll have Heroic Intervention as a just in case. I need 1 mana to be able to use Ronus to grant trample to something, and then Double Strike, and then I have the full gamut of abilities, and then they're going to be in a world of trouble. But I needed the intervention up in this game, or this turn, to make sure they didn't have a board wipe or some targeted removal for Ronus or Trostani. Okay, so they're just trying to make a bunch of tokens. Like, they're not even trying to. Yeah, as soon as I opened this Trostani and I was like messing around with it, I was like, okay, Odric's going in this deck because I want to be able to grant the keywords and really mess around with this. All right, so I'm going to take a hit. Cross my fingers for an untapped mana. Like, give me an untapped mana. Storm the Seed Core. Let's see. Can't grant Double Strike, which is a huge issue. And I can't protect. So, all right. Let's do... If I do that, I can still they'd have Death Touch that, but then I can't give it. I'm always coming up with mana short. It's so irritating. Give me this Flooded Strand. We're gonna go get a land. All right. So I can't grant trample, but then I can grant Double Strike, but then I can grant trample, Death Touch. I do Double Strike. God, this is so hard with all this little stuff over there. I have to have my blockers untapped. That's the key here. So, all right, let's do Trostani doing Vigilance to herself. Let's do Double Strike on Odric. And then just go face. They're not going to gain any life off of this. We're just trying to whittle down their blockers because their attackers, because we need to be able to prevent at least one more turn of crap coming at us. But the shields are down. We cannot stop them from wiping us out or killing our stuff. All right, I'm not worried about Defiler Dreams. We have our 6 mana now, which is really good. Okay. Can we do this? I think we can. I think I can grant Trostani Trample. I think I can grant Ronus the double strike. Everybody gets all the crap. Let's go. And let's see how they block and see if they understand how trample and death touch work. Not that it matters. I think I can annihilate their entire board and still do close to lethal damage. Let's see what happens. Because that's 9, 19. It's over 20 if they only put one blocker in front of everything. Putting 3/1/1s in front of a double striking trampler is not going to do you much good. Oh yeah. Bye-bye. Yes, I love trample and double strike or death touch. We pulled that out of our butts. Kenrith, the Returned King. I haven't played against him in a while, and I have no idea how it's going to go against Trostani. Sure, we got ramp for days. I kind of like this. Well, it's also color fix here. Yeah, we're just going to go with that. Oh. It could be double green for us. So, like, we're going to do this. We're going to submit that, and I'm going to topiary. And then we're going to go get another forest, because we need lots of green. So, like, I don't know why, but this deck gives me exceedingly great joy. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just a lot of fun to grant a bunch of dumb keyword abilities to creatures and mess with my opponent's combat math because they can't figure out what I'm doing until it's too late, and they're like, oh, crap. All right, so they're doing the ramping thing. So now it becomes a question of, do I do the same thing, keep ramping, or do I start killing some of their ramp? Honestly, I think right now, it's just get the biggest, dumbest stuff down, and I'm gonna swing a claw because why not? So I have Bite Down available to crunch Kenrith if he comes out. They're lacking their white mana. I mean, they could do Sanctum Weaver for white, but then that's all they can do. They don't have any other abilities, and they can't go, oh, I'm going to grant haste to Kenrith. It's like, okay, go ahead and swing into my 7/7. And the great part here is then next turn I could slam Trostani and just give the Brontodon double strike. It's like, it's kind of silly. They're spending all this time ramping, and I'm just going to run them over. Crap, it's prime time. Oh, that's great. Well, let's just go with the plan we originally talked about. Let's just do Trostani. And I'm just going to swing with the Brontodon. Yeah, actually, I'm going to swing with both of these. Like, screw it. Next. Yes, I can give that double strike. So if you don't have a removal spell, you're probably dead. Let's see if they have a removal spell. I'm going to do it. Yeah. Let's set it up for 26 damage. Let's see what happens. They probably have the removal. Nope, they didn't have it. That was an ideal ramp hand. Myrel. All right. Well, I've used that a lot to stomp people with. So if I get stomped by it, it's probably just desserts. Sure. Let's go Command Tower into Llanowar Elf. I mean, I'm okay with a turn 2 Trostani. So let's go ahead and activate that. We'll go get something that can come into play untapped, whether it's a shock land or not. Yeah, because we might need the color fix. So let's go Trostani. So then if we draw a land, Master Symmetrist could be a good thing. I could just keep up Gaia's Gifts because they might come up with an exile spell for Trostani on the next turn. Yeah, we're just gonna do that because that way Gaia's Gifts available. I would prefer not to, see what I mean? No. But thanks for playing. Oh, that's fun. Alright. So do I load my hand? Yeah, let's just go with that. I'll take 5 cards. And we have a bite down, so that works. We'll discard the... Oh god, do I want to discard that? I think I want to keep it. Let's just get rid of the Storm Besieged Core. Because we got enough stuff to start ramping ourselves up to the point where we could do the World Spine Worm, which was another thing I opened up, not in the draft that I got the Trostani, but a different draft I did. It was my list card, and I was like, oh, I'm keeping this. All right, so we're going to bite down. We're going to kill their guy. Unfortunately, that shuts off all of her abilities, so I'm going to have to use Buried in the Garden probably to get rid of the Planar Disruption. Let's see here. If I do the Elf, and then I put this on the Temple Garden, and then use that to get rid of the Planar Disruption, and then use that land to play my Paradise Druid, and then I still get to swing. Now, I'm probably opening myself up to a board wipe. We'll see. Nope, just Myrel. Alright. So are you sure about that? I could get back the bite down with the regrowth and kill the Myrel. That would actually probably be a smart idea. I could just play Prime Time as well. I think we're gonna go to Prime Time. Take action. Let's go get Nykthos and the Portico. So then we can see what we got coming up. Well, they're in white. That I don't. Alright. So no attacks. And it is white. They do have the exile target tapped creature type effects. And I don't want to expose Trosani to that. Alright, so they recommissioned that guy, and that's fine. I'm going to decline. Because I can, like I just mentioned, I can do this dumb trick. I can just regrowth and get the bite down back. And I can just use Prime Time to eat it. Like, sod off. Alright. So now I have my guy. And then Prime Time's coming in. Yep. So let's go with... let's get the ability to thin some land out of the deck. And... yeah, duel it. Why not? Next. Okay, I'm not going to do the double striking thing. I'm going to do the Entish Restoration thing. So we will sacrifice that. And we're going to get 3 lands, 2 forests, and a plains. And we are going to use the mana off of this to cast Ronan. So unless I have a mass exiling effect... Yeah, I'm not. Let's not waste the mana. Let's see what they got. If they got a mass board wipe, I'm walking into. But with the creature base of that deck, I didn't think they would have anything too heavy going. Okay. I really need Odric. Because Ronus is going to block Myrel. There's no bones about that. Okay, so I got a 15/15 Trampler. If I do... Like, can I kill them this turn with doing stupid stuff with the whole double striking thing? It is distinctly possible. Because everything's going to gain trample, except for the Paradise Druid. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go for it. So, Primetime, Trostani, Ronus, Symmetrist. Let's freaking go. And then let's just grab 2. I'm not even going to pay attention to it right now. So this already has Death Touch. I don't have to grant it Death Touch. I just have to grant it Double Strike with Ronus. You do know what this does, right? It's like, I'm just going to grant stuff Double Strike. But I wanted to look at this. Yeah, I could grant Double Strike to Ronus. I still had enough mana to do Double Strike to one more, and I had enough mana to grant Death Touch to both Trostani and Primetime. So even if they would have blocked, if they would have goofed their blocking up, they just would have got ran right out. Thalia and the Gitrog monster. All right, let's see what we got here, because they have First Strike, Death Touch availability. I get the feeling this is going to be a game of running our big stuff into each other. I'll try this. It has no ramp in it, but I've played worse. We can do the foothills on one, go get the lush portico, and dig a little deeper into the deck. I'm going to keep this. I just want to double check. Yes, First Strike Death. That's what I thought. So yeah, we're just going to do the foothills on one. We'll go get the lush portico as mentioned. That'll give us a nice dual dig through the deck kind of thing. With the fact that I have so many big threats in my hand, I think I'm probably gonna need that wake eventually, just to power through all this stuff. Let's go ahead and play Trostani. So the next turn, we could be doing the Gore Claw. I mean, otherwise I could just run Trostani and company at Thalia and double strike her to death. But, nah. Let's just play Gore Claw and say go. Yasharn, what is that? Can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents. Well, that doesn't really affect me, so. And actually right now, Trostani is the least valuable thing on that side of the board because of Ancient Bronze Dragon. Let's make them have an answer for him. Because that will turn into a nice double striker next turn that gets really freaking big if I roll good on the D20. I've only drawn it a couple of times. Okay, Primetime, I don't give a flying flip about. We could ostensibly kill them this turn with that Ancient Bronze Dragon. If I roll a 20 on the first hit, they're dead. So, I mean, crap, I could roll anything above a 10 and kill them, I think. First hit 7 rolls. I'm just trying to think like what it would drop. 15. Anything above an 8 would kill them. So, yeah. There's that. Send the dragon. All right, let's do it. Let's see what we got. Boom. Anything over an 8? It's a 20! Screw that. He's getting all the counters. Oh, dang. I did it. Oh, that's where the video is stopping. I can't do any better than that. That was freaking awesome. So what you guys think? That I had a freaking blast. That last game, that was just chef's kiss. I love that. That was just good old-fashioned magic, just dealing with keywords, smashing face with big, dumb monsters, and I absolutely adored it. And it was all just spawned off of drafting a couple of big, dumb monsters in the Trostani and the World Spine Worm that I got in a couple of drafts this weekend. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. I had a ton of fun with it. It's kind of calm, chill magic until you get these really exciting things that happen, and then you're just like, yes! I loved this. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And if you like what's going on here, I can't even talk straight. I'm so excited over that one. Please feel free to subscribe, like, comment, share. All the good stuff helps the channel grow. And as always, we will see you in the next video.